Hi everyone, how's it going? My name is Evan, coach of To Infinite and Beyond. Pew pew pew. Together with my teammates Kim Nice and Chasing AU. This week is week 5 of the LML and we are going up against Guylarian Rapidazz. Notably, both teams are 4 and 0 going into this week. So this is an interesting match and the team members from Guylarian Rapidez have been hyping it up all week. They are M. Setsuku, he's living here in Singapore, and his teammates are Lily and JY. So I'll go through the teams really quick, like a short matchup breakdown. Their team made trades going into this week, so this is the first time they're going to use the Dialga and the Lipad instead of the Zacian and the Politoed. So that sort of brings a different dynamic to their team. They need to manually set the rain um, for Kingdra with Rain Dance or get Kingdra to go for Max Geyser. Then Dialga is also plays differently from Zacian because Dialga is slower than Zacian. However, Dialga has way more bulk if it's allowed to Dynamax and go for Max Steel Spike or Max Quick to boost the whole team. Like mainly, notably Dialga and its partner. So the rest of the team members are the same, but um, the Guylarian Rapidez have been consistently using the Landorus as a very offensive mon that comes in the late game, and not just Landorus, the Pheromosa as well, being almost faster than everything in the metagame except for Regieleki. He can just come in and dish out a lot of damage, especially with Gothitel's support with Helping Hand. Then Moltres, it sort of comes sometimes to patch certain matchups and certain weaknesses. And then the Ditto is it's a wild card. Galarian Rapides have been using their Ditto very well, and if the Ditto is able to um, copy one of our important pieces, then I think that might be bad for us. Notably, the Rapides haven't been bringing Shinotic and Relicanth into their matches yet, so we don't have much information and we also don't really know um, what they could do with these mons. I mean, Shinotic is well known for having access to Spore. However, it's different from Among Us. It's a different mushroom because it doesn't learn Rage Powder. And then for Relicanth, it's interesting that there might be a Swift Swim set, or it can just get be in Trick Room, be very slow, and then go for something like Rock Head Smash, and it doesn't get recoil, and at the same time do a lot of damage. So looking at the matchup, we're actually a bit scared of Kingdra and Kotorita lead because that's what the Rapides have been leading often. And if we are not able to bring in our Credili in time, then the Kingdra can actually do quite a number to our mons with um, like Max Geyser in Rain, Max Airstream, and also Max Wormwind, especially into our um, Dracovish. However, having our Milotic might be a good check to the Kingdra, so we are not sure whether they bring it or not. Then we are also very afraid of Lipad with like being able to help the team dish out more damage than we would expect because Lipad has good access to a lot of support moves and a lot of moves that can lower our stats like Screech and Fake Tears. Yeah, Lipad also has access to Snarl, so that's very useful. Then for us going into the match, we think that uh, Sneasel and Zapdos would be our best lead to always go for the fake out on the Lipad so that it doesn't get off one important move. Then we go for the Eerie Impulse onto their special attackers in Dialga and Kingdra. So notably we made the Zapdos just fast enough to outspeed these special attackers. Then hopefully if they Dynamax we would be able to lower their damage output and then stall out their Dynamax for Sandaconda or Dracovish to come in the back and Dynamax. Yeah, once their Dynamax is over. Then Milotic is very useful to prevent like Dialga or Kingdra to go for max Wormwind. And then Credili Credili has a lot of a lot of weaknesses against their team because um, Dialga has super effective steel moves, and then Landorus and Kingdra have super effective flying moves. So we made the Credili very very bulky with Substitute and Leech Seed. So hopefully we would be able to take a hit because we would have already done Eerie Impulse, and then on Sneasel's side we also prepared Reflect. Then hopefully Credili will take a hit and then use Leech Seed to stall out the game. Mushana and Wigglytuff are there just to let our opponents know that we are also ready to get into Trick Room, because Kotorita is known to set up Trick Room for their team. However, we didn't intend for them to enter the battlefield. So the mons that we are benching are uh, Victini. I mean, looking at the team, like they have Dialga actually has super effective damage, like super effective moves into Victini, right? And then not forgetting Kingdra and Landorus, and even the Relicanth. So poor Victini has to uh, be benched this week. And then for Skarmory, Skarmory does very well against physical attackers, but a lot of their mons can actually be special attackers, and Skarmory doesn't fare well against these mons. So that's why we also decided to bench Skarmory. And at the same time, Body Press doesn't do super effective damage into most of their mons, like some. So it doesn't do super effective into Landorus and Gotorita, yeah, even Moltres. So that's why we didn't choose to bring the Body Press Skarmory set. So that's all for the team breakdown, matchup breakdown also. And what you're gonna see next is actually, because my laptop has been acting up recently, and I think this part of the video might already be laggy. So what we are gonna see is Guylarian Rapidazz point of view, but Hakim and I set aside another session to do a commentary over what happened over the match, to talk about our decisions, because my stream was scuffed. Like it was skipping a lot of frames towards the end of the battle, like when we were celebrating some part of the games. Not trying to spoil too much here. Then so we like actually going through the match again in a form of post commentary was quite enlightening. So we learned about new things that we didn't expect, while playing the game, because we were quite affected by certain moves or certain things that happened that we didn't think that, oh, it might actually be a blessing in disguise. So you're gonna see that, you're gonna hear us commentating over what happened. So I'll see you guys after that. Okay, so here we are in team preview. Setsuku and Kim Nice are both player 1. So what do you see at the player 1 slot?
Okay, so one thing that comes to mind is the three offensive threats being in one player's control: Dialga, Pheromosa, and Landorus. Seeing how Setsuku and his team has been playing for the past 4 weeks, he has been relying a lot on the Shadow Tech ability of Mastorita.
Yeah, together with an offensive threat, right?
Yeah, correct. So right now, it's very weird to see that he can only trap us beside 4 passive ones in Shinotic, Liepard. I mean Ditto, if he does come in, to copy
One of our mons. Notably, the Ditto actually copies the player 1 slot. Then somehow, they cannot guess, right, whether our Zapdos is going to be offensive or not. Then Sandaconda, yeah. So I don't think they want to copy any of these mons to be an offensive threat beside Kotorita.
Yep, correct. So I mean, I'm not sure how they prep for us, but on our end, we were very concerned by the Dialga, especially a physical set one. As we don't have Intimidate, and as you see, we didn't even bring Victini, who is the only one we will always. So the reason for not bringing Victini is the Landorus, being faster than Victini for one, and also having step of power. Of course, we can run Air Balloon or Shuka Berry, but it's still not good going into the match, especially
Yeah,
since
and
they can also run a lot
somehow,
of move. Yeah.
yeah, and somehow they also brought the Radicant, right? So that doubly threatens
Yeah,
the
correct. Our
uh,
Victini.
Victini with 2-step moves.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
So
Water and Rock.
to bang on the to bang on our Will O Wisp was rather risky. So
Yes.
in alternative to that, we ran Reflect on Sneasel. You know?
Sneasel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going into this game, the key was identifying whether the Dialga was special or physical. If it was
Correct.
special, then it nicely comes into our plan since we have Sneasel and Zapdos to slow it down, and of course Sandaconda for max quakes. And if you were to really see later in the game, Sandaconda is not G-Max, which
Yeah.
was very useful.
Helps us,
Mm-hmm.
especially against the special attacking Dialga.
Yeah, correct.
Then one last thing to note in team preview, the mons that they didn't bring, right? They didn't bring Moltres, the fire type Moltres, and Kingdra. So actually that makes a lot of sense because Kingdra doesn't do well against our team, right? We have Credit for Storm Drain, and then they can't really do Max Win freely because we have competitive on Milotic. Then Moltres, I think Moltres is just too threatened by Credili and Dracovish.
Yeah, correct. And
So honestly, I feel like their Mon choice are okay. You know, like first time bringing a Shinotic and Relicanth into the game,
yeah.
maybe that can maybe that can help them.
Yeah,
I think you do have some points, right? You did say something about the Trick Room option.
Yeah, so okay, so Evan pointed out about the right choice of mons, but I think we have touched on just the position of the mons, which gave us some hope that we can take advantage of it. And another option was the trick room. So on our end we have Mushana and Wigglytuff. Of course they are not gonna deal too much damage to their team, but our mons are mid-tier speed, especially Sandaconda, even Credili, which are slower than their attacking mons, which is the Dialga.
Yeah.
So if they were to set up Trick Room for us, that would be very good. If they decide to play the fast mode, they can't really touch Zapdos as well. If you were to take a look, like Landorus, if they want to run a physical set, only then it can touch the Zapdos. Yeah, but always threatened by Sneasel with an ice move.
Correct.
So it was, in a way, we are giving the ball to them. If you want to click Trick Room, it will be useful for us. If you're not gonna click Trick Room, it will also be good for us.
Because we always have tools to lower their special attack with Eerie Impulse and then try our best to stall out their dynamics.
I think you have something to say about our choice of 6, not bringing
the Wigglytuff and so we didn't bring Mushana and Wigglytuff because like you say, they're just not doing as much damage, and the items are just kind of baits. The Full Incense, I was thinking there might be a possibility we can trick Full Incense into Dialga so that it always moves last regardless of Trick Room. Then the Wigglytuff, I just Hail Mary, I just put a Bright Powder in case we can sort of use Wigglytuff to disrupt the opponent with Thunder Wave and then sort of with Light Screen. Yeah, but in the end, we stuck to our game plan. We led with Sneasel Zapdos, and then we brought Sandaconda Milotic for your side, and then Credili and Dracovish on my side. I think having the plan to max either Dracovish or Sandaconda, then that should help. In the mid game, once we hopefully stall out the dynamics or do good disruption with Snarl, Eerie Impulse, and Reflect from our leads.
Maybe one last point I would like to add is, I think they didn't bring Shinotic for the past 4 weeks, but did they ran Hypnosis for the past 4 weeks on the Golf?
Golf, no.
Yeah.
So the threat of Spore is still quite scary.
I mean, so we didn't really prepare for sleep shenanigans coming into this game.
Yeah.
So when we saw it, it's like, are they gonna set Trick Room? Because if they set Trick Room, they can sleep us. But the positioning of their mons,
they just spam Spore.
The positioning of their mons just makes us less afraid of the Spore. Because even if they Spore us, they will need to burn one turn to switch in or out into their
Correct.
threat.
Offensive
Yeah,
attackers.
correct. And if it's in trick
Yeah.
room, as we mentioned earlier, we are slower, or we will move first in trick room. So even if
Yup.
we go to sleep, it's fine. We will burn one turn, and then of course we have to hope that we wake up in time. But yeah, but you see some sleepy moves going into the game. So I think that's
Yeah.
good.
So here we enter the game. So like you were saying, right, I was trying to call. Oh, it should be Dialga and Lipad. Yeah. On hindsight, they picked up Dialga. They picked up Lipad for this week instead of Polito, right? I think that sort of changed their perspectives. They put Lipad in the support slot instead of the usual Kotorita in the support slot. So this might have beaten them back in the butt. So we caught the leads, right? Nice. Here comes Loki and Shazam, and versus Dialga. Yeah. So I think we always have the idea of the turn one play, fake out into Lipad and Eerie Impulse into Dialga. But after this turn two onwards, we are all on our own.
Yep. So we were thinking, would he max guard and copycat? I mean, they should be afraid of the fake out, so they're gonna
Yes.
waste the max guard. And
Yeah,
being a
so
multi-battle, they need to make use of their 3 max moves.
3 dynamic turns.
correct.
Yeah.
And here, actually, we weren't scared of the trick room, because if they set up trick room with Dialga, one, we get the
Yeah,
Eerie
it will be
Impulse
a
off.
-2.
Yeah, we got Eerie Impulse off, and the golf has to hard switch in, and by the time we could switch into our trick room mon also.
Yeah. Yeah. So now they switch in the Goth. See, I think sort of a good play, not falling for the trap to Dynamax turn 1. Then we got the Eerie Impulse off into the Goth, so it didn't really matter much. But importantly, the Lipad is still on the field. So these two mons, right, they just look so passive. So all we do is just try and click damage. In this case, yeah, we opted for Snarl and Hurricane, but then we were deciding which slot to Hurricane. So for me, I told you, I think Hurricane into the Lipad. Since the Lipad is the support slot, we are able to get that part, that those mons chip down. I think it'll be good. Then we can force the 2v1 against their offensive attacker. Then actually on this turn, right, I was also thinking they're definitely gonna go trick room, right? They don't even need to pick out. Then let's chip the Lipad since they will want to switch in either Shinotic or Fish, the Relican, to do well in trick room. Yeah. But instead they opted for fake out into Zapdos and then yawn into Zapdos. So here we thought, wow, yawn, they're gonna do what, sleep shenanigans even more. Instead of just Spore, they're going for yawn as well.
So that was one sleepy turn. I think here we were thinking that having U-turn would have been good. We literally in our prep we forgot that against Shadow Tech we don't have a ghost type. We forgot that we need a pivoting move, but not having it may turn out to be to our benefit.
Yeah, so actually it helped us make better decisions, right? So we just thought, Hail Mary, let's just Hurricane, since the Lipad seems would want to switch out on this turn, so that the trick room sweeper gets to Dynamax next turn. Because notably next turn it was Lipad's slot turn to Dynamax. So we just thought, let's Hurricane into that slot and then continue to click Snarl. There was no need to go for Reflect now, right?
Yeah, so timing the Reflect was very important, which I think Evan timed it perfectly well. And also, them bringing in the Relicans makes sense now because it threatens both Zapdos and Sneasel with the Rock type move. So now we do see the choice.
See, got the Hurricane, hoping for the confusion. I just didn't get it. But I think over here we got a lucky crit onto Gotorita with the Snarl, with Step Snarl. So not bad. At least that chip damage sort of helped us in the long run. Over here I was expecting straight up just max Rock 4, right? Because they have full 4 turns of Trick Room, then Relican should be able to do a good number into our team. So I was willing to set Sneasel already with the max Rock 4 and the Sand chip to eliminate our Sash. So I just went for the Hail Mary Reflect. And then for you just went for Hurricane again, right? But you had to burn this turn of sleep.
Correct. So I think them switching in makes sense since they know that we can't Eerie Impulse into their switch in. and on our end we click reflect
Oh,
now.
you're talking about the Dialga.
The
This
Dialga, yeah.
hard
So
switch.
because our Shazam had to take the turn of sleep,
Yes.
but on this turn, going for the reflect was very useful, and we cannot get flinched by our inner focus ability.
Oh, right.
So now having the
that
reflect,
rock slide.
because as we mentioned earlier in the team preview, we were not sure yet what the Dialga set is, whether it's physical or special. So getting the reflect off just gives us that insurance policy that we need.
Yeah, so over here I think we were just hoping for Zapdos to wake up so that we can at least get off one Eerie Impulse on the Dialga. Then for my Sneasel I just went for Hail Mary Snarl just in case. So notably, you know, they didn't choose to Dynamax their Relicanth, then they choose to hard switch Golf into Dialga to Dynamax on the next turn. So we were also afraid of the Dynamax on this turn. But alas, they didn't Dynamax.
It was a perfect time for them to Dynamax, but of course we decided not to. And here they finally reveal its special set, which then us okay. So they have to be afraid of the Eerie Impulse threat, although they are now in Trick Room. But now we got a flinch, so that was a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean it's a give and take. Like we survived the rock slide. We missed. The Relicanth missed one rock slide on Zapdos. Then in the end, it still got the flinch. So ultimately, we didn't get our Eerie Impulse off. So we were quite affected, like cause like a bit of hex, you know. This first turn only one rock slide flinch. Although we managed to wake up in time. Yeah. I think if that previous rock slide hit, right, it will also proc our Citrus Berry. So I think it didn't matter.
At their first rock slide. Yeah.
So over here, I had the choice to switch in Credilli or Dracovish. Yeah, so our Dracovish is fast, right? Sand Rush. So Credilli is the correct choice, and I was thinking, we can straight away go for the substitute since Credilli threatens the grass move onto Relicanth. 4x super effective. Then although we can switch now because Gotorita is not on the field, but we decided, you know, they just want to do damage, right? Since Zapdos is the slowest mon, then let's not switch out Zapdos to take unnecessary damage.
This was the right time to switch out, I think. Because right now the situation is they are afraid of our offensive Credilli because we have been bringing offensive Credilli for 2 weeks. So we may run
it's also Credilli's turn to max.
Yeah, correct. So we may have the grass move which can take out the KO on the Relicanth. So this was the right turn for us to switch out. And
this was the game-changing turn.
Correct.
So switching out expertly switching out the Zapdos into our Mephisto. Wow, our MVP of the week.
Yeah.
And go for the sub. And then we are still behind Reflect, right?
Yep.
Remember? Then unfortunate they had to crit a rock slide to break the sub. Now they can easily fake out into Credilli. So we did so much.
It was unfortunate about the crit because with the sub up, our plan was gonna go ahead and we're just gonna roll it out.
Yeah, but we can even max the Sandaconda, right? To keep giving Credilli the max quick boost in preparation of the Dialga. Because Dialga can hit Credilli super effective with max steel spike.
Yeah, so here we made the call that hey, we have shown that our Credilli plays has been very threatening in the 4 weeks so far. They were gonna gun down the Credilli as much as possible.
Yeah, so, I mean it makes sense also. Sort of like both Credilli and Sandaconda, you know, they threaten Dialga with max quick, right?
Correct.
And then Credilli sort of threatens more because we can max grass into Relicanth. So over here they sort of realized that Credilli was the threat, and then they decide to fake out and yawn into the Credilli. Then over here we pull the plug. Our Sandaconda is max attack adamant, so straight up Dynamax to give Credilli the boost. And notably, like you said, it's not the G-Max version. So instead of Sand Blast and then I think it's not useful to trap our opponents this week. So going for Max Quick is so useful for the team in general.
Yeah, so here we got the call right. They were really afraid of our Credilli and they even went for a yawn. So in a way, that crit onto the sub was quite good actually because it forces them if we remain with the sub, then they could have yawned our Sandaconda.
Yawn the Sandaconda instead.
Yeah. So
blessing
on
in
hindsight,
disguise.
on hindsight, their crit help us.
Yeah, true. So the Max Quick barely took out the Gotorita. I think it survived at 1
Yeah,
HP,
1
but
HP.
luckily we had the
Yeah,
Sand.
we had the Sand.
So the kill was given to Sandaconda. Yeah, this is good. So see
So
now
now
they
we
have to switch in
will
their
know their third or their second offensive mon, which then they reveal it to be the Pheromosa.
yeah, Pheromosa.
So now
Oh, but
Credili is
now
threatened.
just nice. Yeah, but because of all those, those yawn shenanigans, then Trick Room, sort of just ended. So at this turn, Trick Room is gone.
Yep.
So I think switching in the Pheromosa, that really threatens us because we know the close combat should be coming. I also know that they have the option of triple XO, but Sandaconda should be bulky enough to at least take one.
Is defensively bulky. And here I think we deliberated that we cannot switch in anything. We cannot switch in Dracovish into a close combat because Dracovish could play an important role to clean up the end game, and Sneasel
especially
already went
we are Sand Rush this week, so we are made to outspeed the Pheromosa in Sand. So even with Reflect, I believe we should take this close combat. So I was comfortable. I just went for the Leech Seed into the Pheromosa to get some damage, get some health back because we are going to max quick into the Radicant. But unfortunately, they got another crit into our Credili, right? I think correctly targeting that slot because they know that slot is only down to 2 mons.
Yeah, so here we quick to take out the yawn shenanigans from the Radicants.
Yep. At the same time, also boosting the special defense of Sandaconda in preparation for the Dialga. Yeah. Then over here, they got the speed boost, so that kind of ruins our plan because switching in Dracovish can't outspeed a +1. Yeah. Pheromosa insane. If you got the attack boost, man, I would have been so comfortable to click Vicious Ren.
But of course they had
smartly,
Lipad come in.
Smartly they brought back the Lipad. Wow, look at this, Dormammu. I've come to bargain.
So here, who could max? I forgot. Setsuku is the play 1 slot. Which is the Pheromosa.
Yeah, it's actually the Pheromosa.
Yeah,
wow,
so
that could be quite scary with max.
It is still not ideal for them. We were still thinking Dialga is still their most
correct.
Gonna be their Dynamax candidate because Pheromosa with the close combat drops is not gonna survive 3 turns of max. Yeah. And here
over here
we know they're gonna fake out.
Yeah, you were debating. I I told you go for max quick, right? Because I didn't know. I totally forgot that bug mons resist quick. Yeah, so you were really deciding, either Wormwind or Strike, right? Yeah, then I think that makes sense because we don't want to risk the max quick not being able to take the KO on the the Pheromosa. So that was my bet.
So here we went for the surprise them.
Right,
here we surprised them because in our previous weeks we did run choice band, choice scarf. So sometimes homework doesn't pay off.
Yeah, so not bad. Like we wasted a move from their end trying to gun down the last slot, which is the Dracovish, right? Then having Protect was super clutch. So they wasted their fake out and we got the free KO onto Pheromosa. That was awesome. Like Sandaconda with 1 more kill. So now we are fully prepared for the Dialga. We have 2 max quick boosts on the Sandaconda. And this turn, somehow, right, we managed to target correctly such that on this turn, Dialga cannot max. Yeah. So I was actually predicting that the Dialga will go like defensive, right? Try and protect. Because right now it's so simple. We just double into the Dialga, that slot is gone. Then their offensive slot is gone. Then we 1v1 the passive slot. Which in the back if it's Lipad, in the back if it's Ditto or Shinotic will be better, right? But if it's Ditto, the Ditto will copy the Sandaconda, and then we just Vicious Ren that slot easily.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So far they only revealed Thunderbolt, and we can only guess that it's Flash Cannon and whether
a Dragon move,
or Dragon
right?
move. So we had our max quick boost.
So we decided to split our attacks, go for the Vicious Ren on the cat, and then high horsepower just in case Dialga didn't protect, right?
Yeah. So here the Vicious Ren not getting a KO and they were bury kind of.
I was surprised, huh? Figgy Berry plus maybe max HP, max defense, I'm not sure. But this Fisher's Rend notably is not strong draw boosted. It's not double boosted because Yon went first. So it only did regular Fisher's Rend damage, which is quite sad for a Dracovish. Although we have Life Orb, we still didn't get the kill. So,
But here,
poor Dracovish.
Sen went away, and now with Trick Room, Dracovish is slower than and
it's slower than Life
Dialga.
I think it should be slower than Dialga also.
Yeah, correct. And Trick Room falls nicely for our Sandaconda to take the KO. And here, if you realize, when the 3 minute mark came about, we were like, hey, this is our game. We just need to play
we have
out.
4 mons up against their 3 mons. So as long as we keep the health on these 2 mons, we should be good. So this turn, so I don't know, like we really pinned them right with the fast Dracovish, the quote unquote fast, and then the slow Sandaconda. So they went for Trick Room. I think Trick Room was not the right play.
Yep.
Yeah,
because
they just went for
I
Hail
think
Mary Trick Room.
the light part not going down there was also good for us. If they had the free switch into the Shinotic, then they could have just cleanly spore our
into Sandaconda, so no threat.
and then they just take a kill.
That's so
Dracovish
true.
or something. Yeah.
So not being able to kill the life part was a blessing in disguise.
Correct. And here he has to be afraid because he set up the Trick Room.
Sandaconda is obviously slower, right? Than Dialga. Yeah, so they had to go for Max Guard at this last minute of the game. Then the game should be locked over here because despite Dracovish going to sleep, as long as we have this, because we have a 60-minute timer, so as long as we click our moves, by the time the time goes to 0, then we will win because we have 4 mons against their 3 mons.
Yeah, and of course we calculated in case they do get a KO to Dracovish here, we managed to take a glance at our HP.
Yes.
And we were confident that we will still win the game.
Yeah, because Lipa is at low health, and then these 2 mons in front of us are at low health. Wow, that Fisher's Rend did so well, so good damage into the Chinotic switching.
Yep.
Then our Milotic is safe at the back. We didn't even bring Milotic into the field with full health. So nice, we locked up the game.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to the team preview screen. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
So here, oops. Yeah. So this is it.
Yeah. So this is the general picture. Wow, what a game. I think somehow, I think looking through the replay, having those missed KOs was actually a blessing in disguise. Although we were quite affected by the crit, and then still not being able to take KOs. Yeah.
But of course, because the timer was already down, we could always just protect with we could always just protect. And we also had Stomping Tantrum on the Dracovish. And they already yawned us. So there was no reason for them to target to spore the Dracovish slot.
Correct.
Yeah. But of course, if they let me see. We are not sure if we will take the KO on Dialga. Maybe
with the Stomping Tantrum.
Yeah, Stomping Tantrum, Life Orb.
There's a chance, Life Orb. I think
there is a chance. Yeah. But I think it won't matter because honestly, wait, hold on. That means the Shinotic. Hold on. If Life Part went down, they will be left with 2 mons, is it? Shinotic
no, it will be the last mon because because we killed the Radicants with Max Quick.
Yes. So that means if we kill the life part, there'll be 2 mons. Okay, so
Shinotic will be the last one.
Yeah, so we just protect and try to snipe the kill with
Stomping Tantrum. So that makes sense.
They will have a full health Shinotic and either a KO Dialga or a very low HP Dialga. They take a KO on Dracovish. We protect. And the timer goes, we'll still be winning with, I guess,
more mons on our side.
3 mons to 2. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think our team just does what our team does best. We are always able to be bulky and stall the game out to the timer, and then we managed to get the mon advantage once again.
Yeah. And I think this is second week. I'm not sure. I think this is the second or third week in a row where we don't have to reveal all our mons to the game. At least for one side of our team, you know, like
all the time they didn't know whether it
Yeah,
was the
whether it-
Milotic or the Mushana in the back.
Correct. Yeah. But Milotic was our insurance policy against the
Correct.
Dialga.
Like
Of course,
Dialga, yes.
we expected them to run a lightning move because
Yes.
the Milotic will be troubling for their team, and
Yeah.
they didn't even have to bring it. Yeah.
Oh, but over here we finally see, you know, it's live. So I think we
it's
count
live
ourselves lucky for stalling the game out all the way to the timer even before the Dialga Dynamax. At the same time, I think we can give some credit to us, right? Trying to control both sides, targeting correctly, so that
Yep,
every time
correct.
the Dialga switches in, sometimes it's not the turn to max, then it's in a bad position. So
Correct.
this alternating Dynamax factor, I think it helped us as well.
I mean,
Then
the way they position their mons and it lies perfectly into our strategy of playing multiplayer because our targeting so far has been working, and our targeting works well into such team lineup because we know that hey, it has to be the Dialga or Setsuku side. Setsuku side has to be the one that's gonna max. I mean, we did consider the Relicanth to max, but they were so threatened by Credili's grass move that I think they just
decided yawn into
maybe
Credili.
that's not the right idea to go for it.
True.
So yeah, I think
Then
our plan and their positioning just work into our
yeah, I also have one point about their trick room strategy, right? Because they went for trick room in the early game, but their mons are just passive into our Sneasel Zapdos. Then we were willing to just let Sneasel and Zapdos go down so that we get the free switch into either Sandaconda or Credili. Yeah, so I think on hindsight, spending the first few turns to try and trick room or even try and yawn, I think it kind of wasted their time there. Then sort of help us even more to get to the end game of the 20-minute timer, right? So that works so much more to our advantage because we know our end game is to try and stall as much as possible and get the mon advantage against the opponent.
Correct.
Yeah, nice.
Another point, even now we're watching from their point of view, so you saw that Golf had Hypnosis, then the Relicanth had Yawn, and you wouldn't want to yawn into Zapdos slot, right? I mean, yeah. So I think they wouldn't want to. I think that turn the Golf switch into the Dialga. Zapdos was asleep, so of course we woke up and it impulse. But Credili already came in, so the Relicanth was always afraid. Relicanth, yeah.
Sort of, I think it was always threatened.
Yeah.
And they also know, even if they were to max the Dialga on that slot, then our mons will still be slower when there are still like 2 turns left of Trick Room. So yeah, I think that makes sense that turn they decided, they just go for the Thunderbolt to try and chip down the Zapdos instead of pulling the plug and maxing early.
Yeah. So it was good on them. I mean,
overall,
because they had to be afraid of the Sandaconda switching also. Yeah.
True.
So it worked well. Our lineup, maybe got into their heads, to strategize properly. Because they really need to preserve their Dialga's stat very well.
Oh, now that I look at it, right, on that turn that Dialga wanted to max, right, I kind of get it. Like, they won't dare to max Lightning because what if we switch into Sandaconda?
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they also won't dare to max Worm because what if we switch into Milotic? That's why they didn't max.
Steel, it resists both Milotic.
Yeah.
Actually, all 3 mons on that side resist the max Steel. So.
Yeah, I mean Draco. I think the Sandaconda is still neutral, but like Zapdos, obviously Zapdos resist Steel.
They can't max Quake. I mean, of course we saw they had max Womwin, so they can't go for that in case of our bulky Milotic switching with the competitive, and max Lightning in case the Sandaconda comes in.
Oh, that was cool. I think all in all, it was very good positioning on our end. Oh, I also want to give a lot of props to Kaizen for Andrew for sometimes joining in our discussions, because quite a lot of times what we do in our discussion is always to put them, we get our lines right for the mon placement, which mons are perfect in player 1, which mons are perfect in player 2, and then Andrew really helped a lot, so shoutouts to Kaizen.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Andrew. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
So cool though, like one last thing I want to say, we put the Milotic and the Credili on different sides. So Muddy Water won't get affected by Storm Drain. Then if we have the Milotic and Credili on a few side by side, then there will be two very impossible walls to break, right?
yep.
They also don't know which mon to target.
Yeah.
Then at the same time, Dracovish on the same slot as Credili. I think this week we finally got what we wanted. Because we drafted Credili and then we were a bit scared. Oh, what if Credili and Dracovish are on the same side? But then now, on different sides, right? Then we will always absorb our Fisher's Rain. And now this is perfect. With Credili and Dracovish on the same side, so we won't get into that kind of dilemma.
Yep.
Nice. So yeah, that was our game 5, and we managed to win the Rapidazz, who were the only other undefeated team in our group. So wow, that was such a triumphant win on our end.
GG's to them, because they also really threw a curveball with their trades with the Dialga, which I mean, as much as they have the votes for the 4 weeks, those votes were centralized around
sort of
Zishan
like
and their
Kendra, Zishan,
So
that really threw us off guard in terms of planning, because we can't get any information from their end. Whereas they have like sort of a lot of information on our end, because we have exactly the same mons for the first 4 weeks already. Yeah, to me, Lipa was such a threat. Lipa, with additional, like a prankster option to deal with, then that just makes so much, gives so much more variance against our team. Yeah, so I think that further solidifies why we lead Sneasel and Zapdos, because we are both unaffected by Thunder Wave, or Sneasel is unaffected by prankster. Yeah, in the end, it all played out pretty well.
I mean, if they think they can fake tears us, our Sneasel could also go for our own fake tears. So what they have in Liepard, we have a Sneasel, Of course, we got prankster.
Yeah, true. Nice. Overall, I still think it's a clean game. Despite getting crit twice.
I mean.
Yeah, and I feel like the hacks we did on them sort of, didn't matter as much. I still think that the snarl on the Sneasel, we crit the Golf so that it's in max quick range. I think that was kind of lucky.
That was
there was luck on both sides.
But of course,
there was luck on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that because of the additional crit damage and the quick hit it into 1 HP, as we saw on screen just now. And then it went down to the sand. I guess you can say it was important. Maybe without the crit, it may not have gone down to
the sand.
Yeah, it may not have went down. So
would have threatened us with hypnosis next turn.
But I think the hacks were quite even. They crit us, what they missed, then they got a flinch on us. Yeah, so I think on all
not too bad.
Yeah. But most of the hacks, I would say, resulted in favorable outcomes for
positions
us. Positions for us. Yeah. So sometimes not all crits works in your favor.
True. True. Yeah, I like your point where if they didn't break our sub, then they would have yawned.
Yeah, they would simply yawn into
Sandaconda.
Because our Credili didn't have a grass move. We couldn't take out the Replicants.
Even if we wanted to.
So then
nice. So yeah, GG's to Guylarian Rapidazz.
Yeah, man. All the best for following
the next
3 weeks.
Yeah,
maybe we'll meet in the playoffs. And
things will be different.
Yeah, see you then.
Okay, so I think we have said all we needed to say in our post-match commentary, and also like things that maybe both sides could have improved on. So that's the match, and that's all we have for this week. The Infernates, we are now 5-0, and there are 3 more weeks left in the regular season. So we'll still try our best and play out our games. Maybe one week we might try something meme. But I think it's still best to always work hard as a team and work together to try and strive for good results. So thanks for watching. I think thanks for supporting the Infernates as well. Our team seems to be a bunch of misfits, but then we were able to do quite well. I think um, strategizing the correct mons in each player's side, and at the same time always keeping an eye out for the timer. So timer certainly helped us this week, and I think it's gonna help us in the future weeks to come. So do stay tuned, and thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye. Nice chip, very good. Does he Draco or does he Trick Room?
Isn't that good for us?
Yeah. Okay, wait.
Wait, that's good for us, right?
Yeah. Oh my god, the sand is gone.
Yeah, isn't this good for us?
Okay, if he's gonna yawn and max guard, I think. But we have no choice. So I think we double into the...
Okay.
Because Dialga can max now. But we stall out because I think I should protect though. Like I don't want the Dialga to kill me. Actually no, your high horsepower will kill the Dialga. Right? Yeah, so I think we just attack.
Nice.
2 more minutes. We have the upper hand. We have 4 mons.
Okay, do you want to attack the life part?
Yeah, with Fisher's Ren, yes.
Then I attack the Dialga, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't think Lipa has protect. So if we are able to kill these two, if they protect, they lose. Right?
Yes, very true.
Our Fisher's Ren, you will high horsepower.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm locking it at 2 seconds. My lucky number. Alright. Yes. This one dies. Oh wait, is Shinotic? Oh, crap. Yeah, he's gonna max guard. He has to max guard. So next turn you protect because the time runs out and we have more HP. Right?
Yes.
Who do you have in the back? Oh shit.
Zapdos and Alotic.
Shit. He's very close. Yeah, we called this. Yeah, we could have called it. Oh no, I think we need to click the move super fast. Yeah, because this turn he won't wins. Okay, this is the same amount of HP as... But you have to protect, right? Wait, do you want to protect? No.
Am I...
But he will spore you. So that you don't move.
Okay, so...
No.
Protect,
Wait,
right?
yeah, because Zapdos has the same amount of HP as the mushroom. Right? Then
yes,
your
Scarlet Witch
is full health. So this turn you will definitely protect.
I just protect, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And for me, I have to take my turn of sleep. Yeah, I think we should win. But you wait for the timer to end before you click. Because I think if you click, then we have more mons.
Okay.
Okay, just wait 10 more seconds. Yes! Yes! Let's freaking go! This one we really won by skill. Ole! Call! Ole! Let's freaking go, man! That was damn good! That was so good! They hex us so much, but we were still able to position well. I think the game changer, right, was you switching hard switch the Zapdos into Sandaconda. That was the best play of this game. Yeah. That was... Let's freaking go!
Okay, this is not the only day, but this is one of the best Singapore chants.
Oh.
Okay, and with that, we ole to next week.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.